little bit about your vote. Would you have rather seen another government shutdown? The last one, 16 days, cost the U.S. economy, what, about $24 billion?
Yeah, no, I wasn't in favor of a shutdown, and I think that's sort of a false choice. You're setting it up as if that was the only choice. Really, what we've been doing in the past is passing a continuing spending resolution, which doesn't mean shutdown, but the current law is actually better than what the deal is. The current law included some budget caps from 2011, and now we've abandoned those caps. So I think this is really a step backwards for the country, and really we've allowed us to say, you know what, we don't care so much about the debt, and I think that's a big mistake.
But isn't it good that for at least for 2 years now, no one's going to have to worry about another government shutdown, all the uncertainty, the pain, the cost that those shutdowns incur?
A shutdown's not good, but I'm worried about the future of the country. I'm worried about a $17 trillion debt, and I'm worried about the fact that we're borrowing $1 million every minute. So really, there's concern about shutdown, but there's also concern about the long-term fiscal stability of the country. And I think we've got so much debt that it was a mistake for us to give up on the budget caps.
Will you vote to reinstate those benefits for military veterans that were reduced in this plan that was approved by the Senate today, earlier by the House, and is about to be signed into law by the President?
Given a chance, yes, but see, that's the problem with the Senate right now. The Democrats don't allow any amendments. So we end up passing bad legislation where they make mistakes that even they say are a mistake, but these could easily be fixed if we had a more open process. So right now there's not much collegiality going on. It's a poisonous atmosphere where the majority is just shoving things down the throat of the minority, and because of it, we can't fix legislation like this. So disabled veterans will lose part of their pension. People who have sacrificed their limbs will lose part of their pension because Democrats are in a hurry to get their way, and they want their way or the highway. They don't want any amendments.
But there was collegiality, there was cooperation, there was compromise in the House of Representatives earlier, and now in the Senate, though. Those were pretty lopsided votes.
Yeah, but compromise in the wrong direction, Wolf. What happened is Republicans said we want more money to spend on the military. Democrats said we want more money to spend on social welfare. So they compromised in the wrong direction. They compromised to add $60 billion in new spending, all of it borrowed, and even borrowing from disabled veterans. The money that they're not going to pay to disabled veterans, they're not saving it or going towards the debt, they're immediately spending it on more weapons systems. So no, it's a huge step backwards, and you can say that's compromise, but it's compromise in the wrong direction. It's compromise towards accumulating more debt. It's a big mistake and a big step backwards for the country.
So John Boehner, the Speaker, and Paul Ryan, the Chairman of the House Budget Committee, you believe they were totally wrong in supporting this deal?
Absolutely. When we had the budget caps that we passed in 2011, which people call the sequester, S&P said that they were inadequate and they downgraded our debt. So we've taken something that even in 2011 people thought wasn't enough, and we abandoned it. So really, I think the number one threat to our national security and to our country is our debt. And by going through with this budget motion, everybody wants to be all giddy and joyful. It's a compromise. It's pragmatic. Yeah, but it's a compromise going in the wrong direction. It's a compromise towards not really being serious about our debt.
The next big fight could be raising the nation's debt ceiling once again. The Treasury Department says that has to take place in February, maybe March at the latest. Here's the question. What will it take for you, Senator, to support an increase in the nation's debt ceiling once again?
You know, I supported a proposition called Cut, Cap, and Balance 2 years ago, which is, yes, I'll add more debt if you'll agree to balance your budget from here on out. If you're not going to reform the price, if there's not going to be any conditions, and see, the president has already said, hey, I'm not going to negotiate with a gun to my head. Well, he won't negotiate with or without any leverage or with or without any deadlines. My problem is I can't, in good conscience, vote to raise the debt ceiling without budgetary restraint.
But you realize, of course, Senator, and you're obviously a smart guy, the Republicans in the Senate, they're the minority, the president is in the White House. In order to reach these kinds of grand deals, if you will, you need to cooperate, you need to compromise. You can't just have 100% your way.
Well, we are getting 100% the president's way. He got Obamacare with no Republican votes. He's getting the budget, the spending. He's getting the debt ceiling. He's getting all of those basically his way or the highway. So really, there's not any compromise coming from the administration when the president says, I will not compromise, I will not negotiate. It sounds to me not like our side is the problem. It sounds like their side is unwilling to negotiate.